Before I get started on anything, I wanted to say I hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving or happy holiday. Ours was crazy, but I'll get to that in a minute. But it was still really good. Always a fun time. So, all right. I know in my last video I said that I wasn't going to do another cell phone video, and so I apologize again about the lack of production and that this is another cell phone video. I promise this will be the last one. At least for a while. I can't say never, but for a while, I hope. So, okay. Oops, sorry. Alright, and yeah, I'm going to stop stumbling over myself and get started. I know in my last video, I had said that, that my follicles were just under 10 and that I had another appointment that following Monday. Well, that following Monday, I went to the doctor's appointment, and they were still showing right around 10. So not a ton of growth, so they went ahead and had me do a couple more days at the 150 IU gonal F, and on the following Wednesday, they had me come in, and they were showing that one of them was 12 and I had two more that were 13. So there's 3 follicles. They were the same 3 follicles that were on the right side that they were growing. And so they were starting to show a little growth. And obviously that was right before the holiday, so they said for me to continue the gonal F, I would have to be in town on Friday, which is the day after Thanksgiving, when we were going to be out of town. And so I tried to move my appointment, but they said that with the nature of injectables is that you have to be heavily monitored because, you could have a lot of growth, they could rupture, you can't control the situation if you don't monitor it. So they said, go ahead and break it to your husband that there's going to be a long drive, because I told them that we were going to be out of town. But we were within reasonable driving distance still. We were up on the Tennessee border, North Georgia, which is where my husband's family is from. So on the day after Thanksgiving, we did a little bit of the Black Friday shopping. I've never done it before, so, we didn't do it like a crazy amount. We just, went out. But then that night, Thanksgiving night, like late, we drove all night to get back to Columbus area, which is where we're stationed. And we drove all night. We got here early in the morning. We took a 2-hour nap before my doctor's appointment. We went ahead and went, and then right after our appointment, we drove right back up. So it was crazy, but it ended up being worth it because when I got to my appointment on Friday, my follicles had grown quite a bit. So they had lowered me to the 75 IU from my appointment on Wednesday. So I was actually surprised they grew as much. I actually had 2 18s and 1 21. I think that was what it was. Yeah, 2 18 millimeters and 1 21 millimeters. So they said that they want a minimum of 17 millimeters. So I was good to go. So on Friday after Thanksgiving, they actually gave me my trigger shot of Overdrill. So that was really exciting, and the nurses were all teasing me, saying, "Aren't you glad you came? It was totally worth it." So it was. It made the drive seem a little less bitter and a little bit more bittersweet. That it was good that we came. So that was exciting. So they did the Overdrill. I don't have my sheet with me, but I started testing out the trigger because it will give you a false positive. Because of the hormones that it uses in the trigger shot. So obviously the first night that we got back, because I said that we went back up there for a couple days. We came back Sunday. The first thing I did was take a pregnancy test, and I knew it would be positive because of the trigger shot, but I'm weird and I don't know if it's pathetic, but I went ahead and took a pregnancy test anyway because I think it's the coolest thing to see 2 little pink lines. So I know it's not a pregnancy, but it's still kind of cool. So I cheated and did that when I knew I would get a positive just to see what it looked like, but I don't know. But I have been testing it out, and I think this morning is the first morning where I haven't been able to really readily see a second line on the pregnancy test. So I think the trigger might be, I'm 5 days past trigger this morning. So I think it might finally be out. I think it'll be fully out tomorrow. So anything after tomorrow should be more accurate. Yeah, so I took the trigger, and I didn't get to start the OPKs the first couple days because, like I said, we went back out of town and I was silly and I forgot them. But I did start taking them 2 days past trigger, and I got a positive. I had posted about it on my Instagram and Twitter, and I got a couple comments from you guys. I think Kendra was the main person that wrote back to me about it, and we were kind of discussing whether or not it was positive, and actually it ended up being, it was a positive, so that's good, yay! That brings me to my doctor's appointment from this morning, where they were verifying for sure that I ovulated, and they said that I did, so that's good. They actually said that at least two of my follicles had ruptured, so apparently I ovulated 2 eggs, so we'll see what happens with that. But she couldn't see if anything happened with a third because everything was so swollen because of the rupture, and you know, your ovaries get enlarged, which I can feel every bump on the road. Every time I sit down, I'm like super bloated and tight. And, you know, I asked them about it because it was so uncomfortable, like if that kind of bloating was supposed to be normal, and they said, yeah, because, you know, like your ovaries are really enlarged right now, and the corpus luteum and stuff around the eggs. So they said it should feel like really swollen and tight and kind of bruised, so apparently that's normal. So the nurses were excited for me that I ovulated, and being an anovulatory girl, just hearing the words that I ovulated was super exciting. So, yay! 2 thumbs up about that. I would do 2 thumbs up, but my other hand is holding the phone, so you'll have to imagine it. But anyway, so that's good news. I went from having immature follies to I've had my trigger and I've ovulated. So that's exciting. This is going quickly. So my next appointment is going to be on the 16th in the morning, and they said that's when they will do an official pregnancy test and beta levels and everything like that. So I am now officially in the 2-week wait. So I don't know how many, I've seen a couple other girls, they did their triggers around the same time I did, so we'll be trigger buddies. I'm going to go back and try to catch up on everybody to see how that's all going. I know a lot of girls had gotten their OPKs positive, so hopefully this will be the cycle for us. I'm really excited. So I'm not going to get too excited because, like I said, I know I ovulated, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they'll be viable, but it's still kind of fun to be excited. So yeah, that's the update for now. Sorry if I was talking really fast. I'm trying to get it all out in a shorter video. I don't want like a 15-16 minute video. I'm not exactly I think I'm just over 8 minutes, so it's a little better. But yeah, if there's anything I forgot, I'll come back and do another update video because I have a feeling I may have forgotten a couple things, but we'll see. Anyway, that's the update for now, and I will see you guys shortly. Baby dust to everybody. Bye.